Welcome, everybody. Tony Saracino and the Tony Saracino Baseball Show. I'm sitting in a car here in Long Island. Today is Thursday, May 21st, I believe. And it is after a very, very, very poor Met game last night. I want to start this off very simply. How can you have a $320 million payroll? You lose your best starting pitcher, and you have nowhere else to go in any pitching depth, either on your team, at AAA, you got to go down to AA to get a pitcher. That, to me, is indicative of scouting, trades, long-term planning. I mean, this is an important game here last night. I know it's May. We're trying to get back in the race over here, and you're starting a guy who's been mediocre at AA. You're not even starting a phenom, and we're going to, we think he's ready. The guy's thrown 30 innings, struck out 46 guys, and, he's pitching to a tune of a 2 ERA, and he's just dominating at AA. This guy was mediocre at AA. Now, maybe he'll turn into something later on, but right now he's a mediocre AA pitcher, and that is the best that you have to offer to throw against a major league team. Incredible. We're not talking about pitching against Scranton over here. This is the Washington Nationals. This is a big league. This is the big leagues. Okay, it's a big league team with, big league pitchers. Even though who the Nats threw last night was ridiculous, but we'll get into that in a little bit. So they start Zach Thornton. Okay, the kid's overmatched. All right, the kid's overmatched. 3-run home run in the first inning. Walking the ballpark, just nervous, behind the hitters all day long. Struggles through 4 innings, throws 80 pitches, and basically falls in line with all the other Mets starters these days outside of Nolan McLean. 4 innings, and then we go to a bullpen that we're going to, again, and I've said this, and I sound like a broken record, that we are utterly going to destroy and blow out sometime around mid-July when the Met bullpen has an ERA that's going to go over 5. Right now they can be great, but I can tell you, from July, August, and September, those last 3 months, I guarantee you the Met bullpen will be higher for those 3 months than it is for the first 3 months, just because of overuse. And I know Carlos is trying to get this through, and he's managing these things a little bit better than he did last year, which I thought he managed every game like it was the 7th game of the World Series last year, and he blew out that bullpen and his best starters. This is a little different. I see him trying to balance some things. He's not trying to go to his frontline guys if he's outside of a 3-run limit. Okay, Warren came in, pitched well. He's been a real pleasant surprise. He's stepped up and been great. Outside of, that happening, I didn't see a lot of positives last night. Another error by the catcher. Throw goes out there into center field on a stolen base. Mets got to bring the infield in. Guy hits a hard hit ball, and the kid's given up 4 runs in 4 innings. And he threw 80 pitches in 4 innings. Which I guess is not crazy, but again, is David Stern, this is like the Dodgers on steroids. We're not just going to go throw guys 6 innings or 5 2/3. We're going to throw guys now 4 innings. Because that's what I think the Mets want to do. I think they want their starters to give me 4 innings, and then they're done. We'll get somebody else. I mean, you can't manage baseball this way. You cannot manage. It's 162 games. You cannot get away with this long time. You may get away with this in a short series. Okay, we're in basically the 3rd week of May, and your bullpen is going to be in shambles very soon. I can tell you that straight out. It's that I've seen this year in and year out, and last year really, really, really reared its ugly head later on, and they're heading in the same direction. The same direction. Okay, so you go through Warren. I want to make one other statement. If I never see Craig Kimbrell put on a Met uniform again, it would be too soon. Okay? He has nothing left. All right, he's getting bombed every time out. Soto last night is tremendous. The scary thing is Bichette hits 2 home runs on Tuesday, and Soto hits 2 last night. The Mets lose both games. They lose both games getting production from the middle lineup. Vientos doubled, got robbed of another hit. Beatty drives him in. Mets are getting some runs, and you've got the Nationals here that you're making look like the 27 Yankees, because the last 2 days you've thrown out, you let McClain down defensively, and then you threw a double-A pitcher. And this is how you expect to get back in the race and get back into the playoffs. I mean, excuse me, not the playoffs, but back into the division race, which I don't see happening. So all you got left is the wild card. Soto hits 2 home runs, gets the Mets close, and Kimbrel just gives the game right back. This guy's got nothing left. Get rid of him. I don't want to see him. Okay, I think any Met fan will tell you that. Or if his job is going to sit here to mop up, great, but give me a good mop-up game. They're down 2 runs. They have a chance in the 9th inning, and he just gives it right back. So in the 8th inning, he gives up these runs. Soto comes in. Soto's getting hot. Soto's going to do what Soto does. I still don't like the lineup, the way that he's constructing it right now. It's still early. I've been complaining about that day in and day out. Nevertheless, I'll let him make that decision as time goes on. I think it's only a matter of time, though, before you're going to see a 1-2 of Benj and Ewing. It's just a matter of time. Stretch out the lineup a little bit more. The Met offense, yesterday they faced a pitcher. It was another Zach, by the way, Zach Littell. The guy had a 6 ERA coming into the game. He's been a journeyman pitcher. The Mets got a little unlucky. They hit some balls. They ended up scoring 4 runs. They could have scored more. It's hard when you're down 3-0 out of the gate. They did manage to get back a run early on, but it is tough that you're going to find yourself behind, before you get to the 2nd inning. It's tough to play down 3-0. So the Mets are going to have to get some starting pitching, and they better find it fast. They've got 2 holes in the rotation right now, unless you want to count Peterson, who came off a decent 4 1/3 innings with against the Yankees. If you think that they can get up and get something out of him, I'm all for it. Nevertheless, there's still going to be 2 pitches down at a minimum, one to fill Clay Holmes' spot, and they still haven't figured out anything for Senga and in that 5th spot. So is it going to be, you're going to try Minaya eventually? I don't know. Right now, I don't see the Mets with a reliable starter right now. I don't count McClain. You're putting a lot on this kid. He's a rookie. He hasn't even made 20 career starts in the big leagues, and he's your ace. And you're dragging him out now to make sure he can go close to 7 innings or more, because the rest of your staff can't get out past the 5th inning. I'll give Peralta a half measure on reliability, but again, he's proven to be no more than a 5-inning pitcher. And he can give you some good games, but he's also giving you some stinkers. So I would be incredibly worried about the Mets starting staff right now after Holmes went down. And I don't know what the Mets are going to. I'm more worried because they don't have anybody to come up and fill the spot. I mean, what do you, seriously, you picked a double-A pitcher last night who was very, very average, and you threw him against the big league team, and you saw what happened. What are you going to do the next start? You're going to keep throwing bullpen games? This is coming from the front office. This is David Stearns. This is analytics. We'll live by getting 2 guys. We'll live by getting our starting pitcher through the lineup 2 times. That's the way they're thinking about it. And that's a guy who's never played the game and doesn't understand that the more major league hitters see a relief pitcher in a series, the less effective that reliever is going to become, both through fatigue and just from repetition, where the bat is going to see what he's got. The Mets don't seem to get this. The value of a starting pitcher that can go out and throw 7 innings is like gold. It is gold. And obviously baseball has stopped developing these guys. It's a shame. I was joking the other day that I would love to see Paul Skeens in 1973, because he'd have thrown 300 innings, he'd have struck out 345 batters, and he'd have gone 24-5. That would have been Paul Skeens with that body and the way he can. I believe he's a horse. He's out of the Roy Halladay mold. Randy Johnson, a Cliff Lee, even a CC Sabathia. These big body pitchers who come in and just bring it. But he's been reduced to a 6-inning guy. That's the way they want it. They want to get this through the bullpen this way. It wasn't that long ago that Madison Bumgarner, by the way, won 3 games in a World Series and basically threw a shutout in Game 5 and came back with 1 day's rest and threw another 6 innings of shutout ball and single-handedly won a World Series for the Giants in 2014. It wasn't that long ago. It's mind-boggling to me that we don't try to develop pitchers like this. I just don't get it. And I know his career flamed out, but it wasn't because of overwork. It was, he flamed out because he decided to get on a mini bike and basically wreck his career by accident. No one's trying to do that, but anyway, you can't. The whole point of this is you are not going to survive throwing 4 innings every day with your pitchers, or even 5 innings. You are not going to have a bullpen left, and you're not going to have effective. There's nobody on the team is going to be effective. They better smarten up. They better figure it out. I don't know what the weather is in Washington today. I'll take a look at that. It's not good here in New York right now, but actually a rainout would not be bad for the Mets. I don't think they would be bad. I had warned about losing this game yesterday. You didn't want to be looking at losing 3 out of 4 to the Nationals because I think it would just undo the week they had last week and that good positive momentum that they had. But I don't see, if McLean doesn't win, things get awfully dicey when you got 2 holes in your rotation. And the Mets got that right now. And I don't know how are they going to call up Jay Tong? He can't throw a strike at AAA. What else they got? What else are they going to do? So they're short right now. But we'll see. This is Tony Saraceno. Thanks for listening. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button. Bring back old school baseball. Guys who can throw 7, 8 innings. How about a complete game every now and then? Save your bullpen. All right, let a guy dominate. Believe me, starting pitchers who with 3 or 4 pitchers can go out and dominate games. I don't want to hear the 3rd time through the lineup or the 4th time through the lineup. Okay? Real good pitchers could still be effective. Ask Steve Carlton. Ask Tom Seaver. Ask Jim Palmer. Ask Don Sutton. Ask Nolan Ryan. Okay? Ask Catfish Hunter. Ask Vita Blue. These guys it worked. And it wasn't just a generation ago. So the world hasn't changed that much that we have to do this. But I wax poetic here because that is not coming back. And you're going to see a lot of pain here for the New York Mets come July if they do not get this starting pitching squared away. Because there will be no bullpen left to save it. Once again, I'm Tony Saraceno. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you next time.